Hiya! Welcome! I'm back to the record mail openings / unboxings today with a very exciting purchase. And what this is, you can't really tell inside this packaging, but this is a vinyl record box set. Oh, I do love my box sets. This is from WHSmith, who long-time viewers to this channel will know I've used a few times now, pretty much exclusively for vinyl records because they seem to have a good amount in stock. The prices are reasonable, but best of all, you can split the cost of your purchase over layaway, which is what I did with this. This was £79.99, so quite expensive. But there should be 4 albums in here, so I think £20 per album, and then obviously you get in a bit of a box to keep them in as well. Brand new. I don't think that's too bad. And the story behind the band that are in this box set here, I was going to call them a guilty pleasure, but I don't actually feel that guilty about it. I've liked this group since I was a teenager. I did a video recently where I talked about my love of Europop and Eurodance, and well, this group were probably the main proponents of that genre in the 1990s. I did own a couple of their albums on cassette tape back in the day. Those two will be in here. What I need to have happen is to get my trusty yellow knife ready and willing and able. I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign, life is demanding without understanding. I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign, no one's gonna drag you up to get into the life where you belong. So where do you belong? Alright, and now let us have a whistle! Woo! And also, after opening this box set up and giving you a look, there's another bit of mail to open that wasn't going to open in a video, but it's music related, so I thought I'd quickly open that at the end, so stay tuned for that after we've had a look at this exciting package. Ooh, slicing this as carefully as I can. I have to say with WHSmith, they always package things very well. So this should just slide out, containing a box and 4 records. It's quite heavy. Okay, I'm really happy I've got this. I don't care what anyone says. The item I've got to show you today is All That She Wants, the classic album set from Ace of Base. Oh yeah! Oh, marvellous. This is what I call a treat for someone like me. I love dance music, electro, I like some Euro cheese, some Euro trash. You know, this ticks all those boxes for me. Not ever going to be the coolest group in the world, Ace of Base. Oh, the nostalgia from getting this and having a couple of these albums in my collection again, and there's 2 albums here that I've never owned before either. So what it says on the front, on this hype sticker here, it's a 30th anniversary 4 LP box set, and pressed on green, red, blue and yellow 180 gram heavyweight vinyl. And all of these albums are available on vinyl here for the very first time. Design of the box, it's nice enough, it's nothing overly exciting, but I wouldn't expect it to be really. I've got to get cracking into this. Maybe the records will be unsealed once I've got into the box itself, so let's get this open and we'll find out. So Ace of Base, of course, Swedish act. Are they still going? I think they were going a few years ago with maybe a couple of different female singers. But I think these 4 albums in here, which are Happy Nation US version, which I used to have, The Bridge, which I also used to have, and then Flowers and the Capo. These represent the classic lineup of Ace of Base. So I believe this box set, and it is very similar, it's pretty much the same in terms of design, is from the same company, I think Demon Records they're called, who made the cast vinyl collection box set that I unboxed and looked at a few months ago. That's something that I bought second hand, and it was a really good price as well. It's like £35 on Discogs, and everything was just in impeccable condition. This obviously brand new, this is like double that price at least. This is as cheap as I've seen it as well. I've not looked for it particularly on the second hand market, but it just made sense for me to order it via lay-by on WHSmith. Right, so let me see if I can get these records out easily enough, and then if I'm able to show you the actual coloured vinyl itself, then I will. I think I should be able to as well, because these are unsealed out of the box. So here is their debut album from, when was it originally from? 1992. Happy Nation US version. Yeah, for some reason the version that we got in the UK was always subtitled US version. In Scandinavia certainly, and possibly in other parts of the world, there was other version of Happy Nation that maybe had a different track listing and some slightly different mixes, I'm not sure. I had this on tape. I always loved this album. I remember listening to this on my Walkman a lot. Let's see what the colour of the album is, and let's also look at the nice inner sleeve as well. These are reissues obviously of older albums, but they've never come out on vinyl record before, so a lot of this sort of design will be not brand new as such, but sort of modified from CD releases, etc. Looking at it, I think they've done a great job. They've got like sleeve notes, and they've even got a phone number for the tour agency there, bizarrely. But let's have a look at the actual record itself. I'll try not to take it out fully. Ah, beautiful, look at that. Kind of almost translucent green, sort of. Yeah, it is translucent, but not in a really clear way. Brilliant. I'm so happy that I'm able to show the actual records here. So there's Happy Nation. I'll try and get through these fairly quickly. Great album that. Probably Ace of Base's best, most notable moment really, because the singles off there are ones that a lot of people remember, such as The Sign, All That She Wants, the title track Happy Nation of course. Next up is another album, the only other Ace of Base album that I ever owned. And this is The Bridge from 1995. I remember being a little bit disappointed with this album when I first got it, although there's a couple of really strong tracks on it. I just thought the rest was kind of a little bit humdrum and a bit filler. But track 2 on side A here is one of my favourite Ace of Base songs of all time, Never Gonna Say I'm Sorry. I believe it came out as a single in Europe at least. I don't think it got a single release over here in the UK. If it did, it didn't chart. I think at this point, 1995, they were kind of seen as having had their day really, and I don't think this album sold particularly well, particularly in the UK. It probably did a little better in Scandinavia, mainland Europe, but there again, a very nice inner sleeve there. I like this sort of desert-y, sandy sort of motif that they've got going on, and the colour is, oh, beautiful, a lovely red record. You all know by now, and I say it every time that I unbox something like this, I love coloured records, patterned records. I love all records, and you know my oft-used hashtag now, Black Vinyl Matters, and it certainly does, but something about different coloured, multicoloured, patterned records, just, yeah. Anyway, so we move on now to the Ace of Base albums that I've never actually owned before, so really great to get these in my collection. I am familiar with some of the stuff off this one though. This was their third album, considered a bit of a comeback for them really, in 1998 I believe, Flowers. And another one of my favourite ever Ace of Base singles, Life is a Flower, that's on here. There's also a great cover version of Bananarama's Cruel Summer. So Ace of Base at this point, getting on towards the late 90s, turn of the millennium, they were having a little bit of a renaissance. This album and the singles off it did considerably better than The Bridge, I'm pretty sure. So here again, nice inner sleeve. Got to be careful with all these discs, as obviously I want to keep them all nice. And unsurprisingly, a very nice, vaguely translucent blue. beautiful. Love it. Nice center labels as well. Never really talked about the center labels, but they all look great. Really excited to listen to this in full, as like I say, I've only ever heard the singles off it. And next is their 4th album. This is, I think, their final album under this sort of classic lineup. And this is the Capo, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've never heard this album. This is the sort of Ace of Base era that I'm least familiar with. This album originally came out in 2002. I wasn't really paying any attention to Ace of Base at this point, and I don't think this sold very well at all, in the UK at least. Yeah, I'm really excited to listen to this. You know, there could be some absolute bangers on here that end up being some of my favourite Ace of Base tracks. One track I do know is on here is first track on side B, a cover of one of my favourite songs of the late 90s, Wonderful Life. So that's a great song, and I think Ace of Base do a pretty nice cover version of it, but pretty much everything else on here I'm not familiar with at all. And once again, a nice inner sleeve. What colour will this be? Ooh, so that's really nice. 4 beautiful coloured discs there. I mean, I would have got this set even if it was kind of bog standard black vinyl. I didn't buy it purely because of the coloured discs, you know. I've said before in other videos, my mini disc collection is a bit sort of, yeah, I've got some stuff in there that I wouldn't normally buy just because mini disc is rare and therefore it's a collectible format. With vinyl, I'm really sort of sticking to my guns of only buying what I want. And I am an Ace of Base fan. Just really fun, European, Scandinavian pop music here, he says, as he's struggling to get these records back in this box. I'm so excited to be able to go away and listen to all these. Let's get these back in, and I can crack on with the remainder of the video, which is just a little mail opening that I've got for you that is also music related, but I decided at the last minute I would just do it in this video. And it's this little item here. You can probably tell what this is going to be given the shape of the envelope. It's not from Music Magpie, by the way. This is off Discogs Marketplace, but the sender has decided to use an old Music Magpie envelope. So what this was something that was in my Discogs want list, or wish list, for about 4 years now, and it comes up every so often. It's an unofficial remix album. Every time it's come up though, it's been like a ridiculous amount of money for an unofficial CD. It's been like £40 or $40, you know, because often it's an international seller. But this one came up. I think the condition was classed as good plus, which probably means above average, but for CD, that don't particularly worry me about condition. And including postage, this was just over £10. So I thought, yeah, I'll get this in my collection, as this is obviously my favourite band, so you've got to know who this is now. I've got a lot of unofficial stuff like remix albums and a lot of live bootlegs as well by this act. Quickly show you this, as there's not going to be an awful lot to see with it, but just be a nice way to round out this video, I think. And it is The Remix by New Order, which is a slightly strange name for an album, The Remix, but it sounds like it's just one, but it is actually an 11-track album. To say it's unofficial, or at the very least semi-official, it looks relatively well printed to me. Some of the tracks are like official remixes, like the Dub Vulture mix of Subculture. I'm familiar with that, but the majority of these mixes are kind of ones that have never been officially released anywhere before. They've been done sort of like, not by amateurs, but by people who have never been allowed to, or have never officially been asked to release them. Yeah, like I say, it's a CD. We all know CDs aren't very cool or fashionable anymore, but that's a nice printed CD. There's a little booklet inside. I say booklet, it's just got this photo of the band. This is in a lot better condition than I expected it to be, really. And for just over £10, it's just a nice little addition to my massive New Order collection. I've wanted to do a video showing my entire New Order collection, and I've realised that if I ever do that, it's something I'll have to split into at least, I think, 3 parts probably, because there's just so much to look at. and even 3 parts might end up being long. So, but that's something I've just been thinking about, maybe in the future one day. The remix by New Order, some interesting stuff on here that I've never heard, a couple of things I have heard before because they are more official, but I'm very excited to listen to this later on, as well of course as this big behemoth, Ace of Base, All That She Wants, the classic albums. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at a couple of music purchases. The video of course mainly dedicated to showing you this wonderful, really nicely produced box set here for an act that is going to be quite Marmite to a lot of people, but for me, as a fan of all things European, particularly relating to music, yeah, that for me, I had to get that at some point as soon as I knew it was out. And the New Order CD, just a little bonus thing that came up on Discogs. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and of course all of my amazing patrons. I'm gonna go now, and it's a case of deciding what to listen to first. Get cracking into All That She Wants by Ace of Base, or stick the remix by New Order on my CD player. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna listen to them all soon anyway. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next music collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!